and it's very useful because there's nothing like breathing that is the force of life. You see, if your breathing is good, your lung is good. And what is FEFSA? FEFSA is lung, isn't it? Yeah. I just received something very interesting about gore. I've sent it out to quite a few people. You see, whenever, first thing in the morning when you wake up, you have gore. And there are so many benefits. If you like, I can send it to you. Anyway, coming to the subject of breathing. So the first breathing exercise is called Anulom Vilom. Anulom Vilom is very helpful, especially for people suffering from heart disease. You see, I have my own personal experience. And I remember I had to use my spray if I walked from here to there. Because I did, because I did not have this habit of walking. But then I started doing this Anulom Vilom, slowly, gradually. And as I was walking, I found that that jaw kind of pain slowly disappeared, and I started having pain not pain, but a bit of breathlessness. Slowly, gradually, it improved a lot. So apart from this, there are many other benefits as well. So what we do, you see, block this nose, you see, breathe in, hold here, and then breathe out forcefully. Then breathe in from here, hold here, and breathe out from here forcefully. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it at least a few times. All right. Now we do Kapalbhati. Kapalbhati is you try and put your tummy inside and expel air from your nose. See how I do it, and see the movement of my tummy. You are throwing out poisons from your body, see. The last one is bumblebee. Those people who are suffering from sinus or running nose and sore throat and sore voice as well, this helps a lot. So what you do, you block your ear, all right? And then breathe in and then make a voice like a bumblebee. Look. Again, now breathe in. Now, I used to get this catarrh. It has more or less disappeared. Now let's do this exercise called 4-7-8. You breathe in at the count of 4, hold your breath at the count of 7 seconds, breathe out at the count of 8. Those people who are suffering from anxiety, restlessness, insomnia, they can't sleep, start with 4, build it up slowly after a month, do 8 times in the morning and at night. See, after 2 months or so, 3 months, you'll find a great improvement, believe you me. So, look, just look at me 4 times. I breathe in. Hold for the count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then breathe out. Eight. Before you do that, start first breathing out. Rest. But if you walk a lot and then you start breathing, you will find you become very restless. It's better to start breathing exercise first and then start walking. Okay, let's do 4 times at least. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out as much as you can. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I forgot to tell you this, that when you start breathing in, raise your tongue underneath your tooth here, and then start breathing. Now, do this other kind of religiously oriented, and it's so beneficial. Do for at least 3 to 5 minutes. Even when you sit down, even when you are relaxing, look at me. Allah. Allah. You raise your tongue there, then leave it. Allah. 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 The Sufis and the aesthetics, they do this, and there's a great benefit in this. I was just reading a book by this international bestseller regarding divine sort of knowledge, and they prescribe this particular sort of breathing. Allah, Allah, Allah. You're saying Allah. Even when you breathe in, say for example, you breathe in at count of 4. You say Allah. As you are breathing, you can even Allah from inside. You can say there is one zikr that nobody can know that you are doing that zikr. You do any other zikr, they can see you are moving your mouth. Do la ilaha illallah. Without even opening your mouth, you can still do it. But other zikr is say, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, but la ilaha illallah. That's a miracle. And according to the many ulama, all the zikrs are good. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, but there's no zikr like la ilaha illallah. You see, I was just talking to Mustafa Bhai, and he read somewhere there is saying Kalimatullah is just like going to Hajj. So what is Kalimatullah? Kalimatullah, la ilaha illallah. Okay, so let's do 1 or 2 exercises. If you could kindly stand up. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right? Now, go this way, right to the end. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this way again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now watch me. Go this way. Feel the tension here. Go that way. All right? Look, this is straight there. Can you feel the tension here? On your left. Okay. Now do the other way. All right? Okay. Now, there's nothing like strengthening your trunk. If your trunk is strong, then you can stand. But if this is weak, oh mia. So the best thing is to strengthen this, that, and this. And how you do that? Watch me. You see? Go forward, and you see this tension here. Go forward. But normally I do against a wall, which is even better. Can you feel the tension on your leg here? You should do that. Okay. Now, do the other leg as well. Look. All right. Now, bend a bit, and you'll feel the tension here. All right? Right, okay. Now, then, this is for that. Just do that. You can see you're strengthening this part of your muscle. All right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you do it the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now, you can do the same thing while you are in a sleeping position. So if you sleep you sleep straight this way, you see, and raise your toe, bend your toe this way. You'll find that there is tension there. You see, and both ways. So you get tension in both. And before you get up, what you do, you sleep straight like this. Move this leg this way. Rotate it. Okay? This way and the other way. Do the same with this. This is very good for people who are suffering from balance problem. And the other way as well. And then while you are still sleeping, you can do your exercise sort of, like a bicycle, sort of do it just way. All right? Now, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you should do, for people who are suffering the balance problem, is just raise your leg like this. 1, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. But hold on to this, you see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do 10, 20, whatever. The more you do, the better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now let me show you something for those people who are suffering from shoulder problem. I've had this problem because of the sleeping position. Unless you get the right pillow, sometimes we find there's a pain here. It's quite painful. So what you do, raise your hand both way above the shoulder here. All right? And then just do like that. You can see you can see the tension here. Okay, so this way, there, this way, there. Can you see that? Right. Now, I'll do only 1 or 2, but it's quite, this is a kind of aerobic exercise, which is good for people who are suffering from heart problem. You should become a bit breathless every day. So what you do, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right? Now, if you are able to do it, do it. If you are not able to do it, please don't do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right? See, do this at least twice a day. See, now this is the third one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right? Now look at me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is also very good for this. And those people who have a balance problem, what I suggest, if you have a kitchen, try and walk like this. But hold on to this table, see? One same, one after the other. Can you see this? Now once you do this every day, because I had a balance problem myself, you see, and this, I've seen that this has really improved. And especially when you do this, when you lie down and you raise your leg and do this way, that way, and you raise your leg every day in the morning, you'll find that those people who are suffering from balance problem, it improves a lot, you see, by doing such exercises. All right? I'll send them. Yeah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسماء والطارق وما أدراك ما الطارق النجم الثاقب إن كل نفس لما عليها حافظ فلينظر الإنسان مما خلق من ماء دافق يخرج من بين الصلب والترائب إنه على رجعه لقادر يوم تبلى السرائر فما له من قوة ولا ناصر والسماء ذات الرجع والأرض ذات الصدع إنه لقول فصل وما هو بالهزل إنهم يكيدون كيدا وأكيد كيدا فمهل الكافرين أمهلهم رويدا صدق الله العلي العظيم.
I've got a few announcements here. First of all, let's say Fatiha for Allahumma Ramin. Fatiha. Due to high living cost at the moment, regretfully, we have to increase the amount of money we pay for lunch. So we have to increase it by £1. So now the contribution from the membership would be £3.50 for lunch. Regretfully, we have to increase it because the Jamaat cost has gone up, everything has gone up. So please take this on board. I mean, we all know how much the prices have gone up. So please, and also, I request members who come late to pay for their lunch, because some members come late. I will announce this later on as well, because all members here have already paid now, because they normally pay. But some member comes late, and there's nobody to collect the money. So we ask them to go and see Mohsin Bhai and pay the amount, yeah? I hope that's okay, yeah? And all members who want to donate for breakfast, for sawab of the Marumin, please contact Masuma Bhai Allu or Mohsin Bhai Nanjide. The cost is £85 for breakfast for ladies and gents. Those people who want to contribute, to donate for the Mahrumin, then please do so, yeah? Now I'll request Dr. Saab to come over. Is he having his tea?
Makbul Bhai has just read a very, very useful. I would invite people to see the translation of this reply. It's very interesting.
Ahmad Bhai, we want? You said to pay 350 now. Yeah, no, today is 250, but for next week or onward, and there will be no payment to be paid if they are donors, so we don't have to pay when they are donors. That's otherwise we pay 350 from next week, yes please, yeah? Today, because we collected 250 today, because we have to make announcement before, so we would let, yeah? Thank you very much. Murtaza, you wanted to make a comment? No, please. Dr. Saab, please come over here and...
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I had prepared a talk and I had on my mobile phone, my mobile phone was gone, but this is a problem. But it was about herbs and diabetes. Now this is a very important topic because most of the medicines we have are derived from herbs. So this is important to realize that even, for example, the digoxin is from foxglove. Karela is from metformin. Metformin is from Karela. So lots of our medicines are from herbs. The problem is the pharmaceutical industries don't do research on herbs because they won't make money. They want to make money. So this is a fact of life, that people are after this follows, and they're not after helping the public. And this is a shame. And this is what the past president of the Diabetic Federation, who has written in the postgraduate medical article about herbs and diabetes, which I had the paper with me, but my mobile is lost, so it's gone. But that's what I was summarizing his talk. He says all the animals have used herbs, elephants, baboons, monkeys, they all use herbs to survive. And God has said in Surah Hud, verse 8, I think you would have the quotation at hand, Murtaza Bhai, and he says that all the creations of the earth are sustained by Allah. Not only us human beings, all the creation. So the monkeys, the baboons, all with the crocodiles, they're all sustained by Allah. If you look at it, the baboons who live in a place where there's a lot of disease called schistosomiasis, which is a disease which causes bleeding in the urine and bleeding in the gut, and it causes damage to the liver. And these people, these baboons, eat a fruit called banana. The banana has got inside it a medicine to fight the parasite schistosome. It's amazing how God has created the world, and we should realize it. It is God who made everything and He looks after everything. Even the crocodile, when he sits after feeding, he keeps his mouth open, and a bird cleans his teeth. And he doesn't eat the bird. That is a carnivore. He would have eaten the bird. But this is how God looks after all His creation. Now, there is another herb which is called balsam, I think, and that is also very useful in diabetes. And that has helped a lot of... These herbs are all available on Amazon, on YouTube. You can get them, these herbs. But you see, the thing is to use herbs. We don't know the dosage you need to use, and we don't know how much to use. So the dosage, the purity of the stuff we are not sure of. For example, goat's rue was discovered by somebody who found that it causes people to pass less urine and be less thirsty. That is in the last century. And he started prescribing goat's rue for people. And then somebody purified what was inside with guanidine, and that contains metformin. And that's how metformin was discovered. So all these medicines we have are derived from herbs. And we should realize it, be humble about it. There is a medicine called prickly cactus pear that can reduce the sugar so fast that we get into hypoglycemia. There was a patient who was a Mexican who took prickly pear and with his medication, and he had low sugar episodes thrice. First, it was controlled properly. His HbA1c was 7.6, which is within the normal limits. So, but he had 4 hypoglycemic episodes. Then he stopped taking the glipizide, which was for diabetes, and the sugar came to normal. And then he told his GP that I've been taking prickly pear, cactus prickly pear. So there are lots of medicines waiting to be discovered. Ibn Sina, the famous physician, he described the taking of methi, which is we have usually in our cooking, and with worm seed, and with this thing he was controlling diabetes. And Ibn Sina's Qanun and Al-Razi's Qanun were the encyclopedias teaching medicine here until last century. Until now they've moved Oxford Secretaries of Medicine and all these big books, but it was the Qanun of Ibn Sina and Al-Razi which was dictating the things. So we should be really careful about what we speak. And now when anybody goes to his GP, he should tell him about the alternate medicines he's taking. He could be taking acupuncture, for example. He could be taking herbal medicine. He could take complementary medicines. Even our king at the moment, King Charles, he uses complementary medicines quite often, and he's quite open with it. So all the GPs should ask about all the complementary medicines, and not in a judgmental way, because it does have an effect. Goat's rue reduces the sugar. Karela has been mentioned in the Oxford Text of Medicine that the low sugar lack metformin. So what else can we ask for? So God is really, in the Quran he mentions, in Surah Hud verse 6, he says, and God looks after all his creation, all of his creation, his sustenance. He looks after the animals, the baboons, the elephants, the monkeys, the crocodiles, everybody, even us. He looks after us all. So we should realize and be humble about it. And if we look at the Quran, it has got all the information inside. Imam Ali had said, you think you are a insignificant germ, but in you is a great universe. And if you read the Quran, it will give you all the clear information. And this is the Quran's information, Surah Hud, verse 6. And in the many other surahs this has been mentioned. So this is what we should realize. And now, to digress a little, there is a new medicine that has been described in Cuba. Now this, I'm moving from herbs now to another field. Is that all right? Now, this is a very important new discovery. Now, this medicine is an epidermal growth factor, which has been described in Cuba, and it is given in injection into the lesions of the ulcers of the diabetics. Diabetic foot has been a very big problem for us, and amputations are so often. Even America don't have it. America didn't have it. So what has happened now, what has happened when Obama went to Cuba to try and to re-establish relationship with them, and then the University of Arizona cardiologist and the surgeon went after that to liaise with the Cuban authorities about these injections. They're given 2 to 3 injections a week into the lesions of the ulcers, into the lesions. And within 42 days they're cured.
Excuse me, even if there is a gangrene in the feet?
Yeah, this is, when gangrene is going a bit further, so it'll cure about more than 70%. Once a gangrene has started, you could try it, but it hasn't yet been proved. But these are medicines which are only available in Cuba. Now University of Arizona cardiologists and the surgeon are trying to get into the FDA approval in America. And then it will come to us. I have written to my MP telling him we are losing out on this. We should be able to get these medicines from Cuba. Politics aside, politics is not important. It is human life which is important. Because when I took up this profession myself, I had very high grades in all the subjects. But my headmistress had put me to become a lawyer because she said, I'll help. She was a sister in the St. Joseph's Convent School. And she said, I will help the downtrodden people who can't fight for a lawyer, and I'll help them. Then I asked somebody, I said, what do you think about it? It sounds reasonable to me. He said, no, a lawyer has to lie all the time. And you have never been known to lie, according to your sister, who was the daughter-in-law of that man. He said, you have never been known to lie as a child, so you will not succeed. And not only that, lawyers are engaged by rich people to help them to fight their crimes. The poor people don't have money to pay for a lawyer. So you'll not be able to educate your brothers and sisters whom we know you want to educate. So I was stuck. I didn't know what to do now. I was in a dilemma, finishing Form 4 and going to Form 5 to go into an art stream, according to Sister Jacinta, my headmistress. But now I had to move away from that. And I asked this man, what should I do then? I said, medicine is a profession of the Imams and the Prophets. Do that. That told me off. So I went to Sayyid Dr. Rizvi for istikhara. He was my mentor and my teacher. Sayyid Dr. Rizvi, the old man who was really great. He's the man who translated Al-Mizan into from Arabic into Farsi and Kiswahili as well in English, because he was a very, very clever man. He said, istikhara has come very good. When you become a doctor, you will help your community, you will help your people, and that is very good for you to do. And so I chose. So I had to study whole night, zoology, botany, physics, chemistry, I did general science before. I had distinction in that, but now I had to study these new subjects. And then in the morning I would work in back of India to make ends meet. Because when my father died, we were very poor. We were not really rich at all. We didn't have, so I had to work in the Bank of India to make money to help my brother run the show. So this is how, and then that's how I got into medicine. And the medicine was purely for the sake of serving Allah, not for money. And this was reinforced by another mullah who came to see me as soon as I started practice. He said, in your practice, don't think about money. Which is a very good, I've already thought about it, that I shouldn't do that. But he said, don't think only about serving the people. I said, that's wonderful. So that's how, and it was Mullah Muhammad Jafar. He told me that. So Muhammad Jafar, he's marhum now, Muhammad Jafar Khaki. So this is how so God has put everything in His Quran, as it mentioned in Imam Amli's statement, and Quran it says, everything is in the Quran. If you look into it, you will get all the guidance to lead your life. Sadaqallahu al-Aliyyul Azim. Any questions? Yes. Yeah.
I'd like to share.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
I'd like to share some information might be useful. Now, you mentioned about Qanun or Tib of Ibn Sina. Ibn Sina, the West didn't want to put the name Ibn Sina. Why? Because he's a Muslim. And people will come to know that the founder of medicine is who? A Muslim. So they corrupted his name to Avicenna. All right? We have another figure called Ibn Rushd. Huh? Guess what name have they given? Averroes. Can you see this? They're trying to, and if you read, there are books, go to the British Museum, you will find most of the people, scientists, you see, Archimedes' principles, the founders who are actually Muslims. So there is a book which has been translated into English, is called Qanun. So they have, in English, they say Canon of Medicine by Ibn Sina. Now, you are talking about baboons and animals, and you will find the Maasais, the Red Indians, the Maoris. What were they eating? What were they having for any problems? They could straight away sort of go to the plants and grasses. They knew straight away what to pick. I remember we used to go to Salemadawa in Zanzibar for medicine. And I remember my mom used to send me for various medicines. And he could not see. He was blind. Just the touch of it, he knew that this is Solamaki. He straight away he could make out. So herbs have been used. Now acupuncture, for example, it's only now, after so many years, that the West have come to understand and admit that acupuncture does work, because it was reflexology by pressure. This is what the Ayurvedic people use, you see. But now they have recognized that acupuncture is a branch of medicine, you see. So what I was saying is this. You were talking about the new medicine for diabetes, that you get into hypoglycemia. So you get hyperglycemia and hypoglycemia. I'm sure the doctor will not prescribe first before he knows what your problems are. You see? Yeah. Because I know of people, my own marhum father had diabetes, and they were nearly going to chop off his leg. What they did was just to remove the bigger thumb here. And Dr. Weitlingham, he was very well known, you see. So he went into hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia. But this is gangrene. But if you are saying that gangrene can be cured by this new medicine, then it's a remarkable sort of a progress, you see. Anyway, this is the only thing I wanted to just share with you about about this Ibn Sina, canon of medicine. He was the founder of medicine. We have Ibn al-Haytham as well. There are so many. I've got a book, and if you go to online, you will find the discoveries and the scientists who are none other than Muslims themselves. And there is a woman who has come out very boldly from Oxford University, and she has just written a book about who are the real people, founders who founded medicine and other scientific sort of advancement. It was the Muslims. See? Thank you very much.
That is true.
What is the name of the book she has written?
Canon of medicine.
No, the lady who has...
I can send it to you. There is a book. I don't remember. But there is a, he has just come with a new, it's come on the sort of social media many times. Very, very interesting, you see. You go to the British, you go to British
You get
Museum,
it, yeah.
you can find
Indeed.
so many sort of articles and things regarding the Muslims' inventions, you see.
Yes, I think that's a very, very good addition to what I've said. Ibn Haytham manuscript about the circulation of blood is there in the British Museum. I went to look for it myself, and he described the whole circulation of blood. This was 1400 years before Harvey did. Harvey claims he did discover circulation of blood. That is nonsense. Imam Jafar Sadiq taught Ibn Haytham. In the manuscript, according to Mullah Asghar, he had read it himself. He said, Ibn Haytham writes, it is my Mawla and Aka Imam Jafar Sadiq who taught me this. So Imams were teaching medicine, physiology, anatomy, not only fiqh. They were teaching of every subject. In fact, when I went into the Hawza, I asked him, if the Imams were doing it, why don't you have also people teaching medicine in the Hawza? He said, we have gone down a lot at the moment. And it's a fact. A Hawza should be teaching these things.
There is a book I would like to share with you by Imam Jafar. It's been translated into English. Imam Jafar Sadiq. It's available from Amazon. Imam Jafar Sadiq, the greatest Muslim scientist and thinker.
Yes, indeed, yes. Yes.
The greatest Muslim scientist and thinker.
Yes.
Now, these people in Pakistan, whoever has translated into Urdu, he was so much impressed when he read this book. Guess what the title of the book was? Superman in Islam.
Superman. Wow. Yeah.
The greatest Muslim scientist Imam Jafar Sadiq in English. Please read.
Yes.
And he proves the existence of God in that particular book. And he has a dialogue with somebody called Abu Shakir. Read this book.
Yes.
It's so good, so good. You come to know.
Yes.
You see, our Imams, this knowledge, unfortunately, is for some reason, is either hidden or it's not been properly investigated or explored.
Indeed, yes.
But there is so much contribution from our Imams as well. There is a Tibb al-Nabawi, the medicine of the Prophet, and Tibb al-A'imma, and the medicine of the Imams. They are all available in English as well.
That's very, very interesting. That's very interesting indeed. It's a very good addition. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. That's very good. You see, even if you look at other medications like digoxin, which you use for heart, it is from foxglove. Vincristin, which is used from Vinca rosea, it is used in cancer treatment. Most of our medicines are derived from herbs. They purify them, remove the other ingredients, and put the active ingredients in.
Optics.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Who was the founder? I
Yeah.
forgot the name of the person.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
a Muslim.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, indeed. The first one who described the diameter of the earth, you might remember him as well. He was a Muslim.
Trigonometry and geometry.
Yeah.
Algebra.
Al-Kharazmi. Al-Kharazmi?
Algebra.
Al-Jabir.
And you go to the London Museum, and you find the name of Muhammad Jafar Sadiq is elucidated. He was a teacher of Al-Jabi.
Yes, I am. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. We should be proud that we are Shia Muslims, really. But we should use it in a positive way to develop it.
Indeed, indeed. But I would like to point out as well what the doctor said about herbal medicine. Please, please, all of us here, we should not ignore what our doctors are saying as
Yes,
well.
exactly.
The medication
Yes.
that they prescribe for us,
Yes.
don't neglect
Indeed,
them. That,
that's
we're
true,
gonna go
yes.
herbal
Not only,
medicine.
Yes.
not only that,
Yes,
but
you have
before you take any herbal medicine, you are strongly advised to see your doctor first,
indeed.
because sometimes it
Indeed.
does interfere
Indeed,
with the
indeed.
allopathic medicine.
Indeed, yes, that's true, yes.
But Ayurvedic medicine has been in existence for nearly 4,000
Yes,
years
indeed, yes.
before allopathic medicine came into
Yes.
existence.
Yes.
Because some people might take it that, oh, we'll leave whatever has been
No, no.
prescribed to us and
Ah,
we'll just have the herbal
yes.
medicine. But that is wrong.
That is very true. You're very right. You're very right. Everybody who goes to the doctor, he should explain what other side medicines he's taking. I think I mentioned that before the doctor can then calibrate the amount of medicine to be given. For example, in the case with the prickly pear, that to stop the diabetes medication, because the prickly cactus pear was lowering the sugar so well. So one has to be make the doctor aware of what you take. Diabetes UK says we shouldn't use herbal medicines per se as such. Diabetes UK says that. But we should use the purified derivatives which are made by the West.
Not only that, even if you use vitamins, supplements, food supplements, you read there, it says that this does not sort of replace
Yes,
your normal state.
indeed,
If
yeah.
you are a pregnant woman, or if you are under 16 or 14, consult your doctor first.
Yes,
Don't
indeed,
take
yes,
this. Am I
yes.
right or no?
Yes, that's true, yes.
They- Even vitamins which
Well,
are
all
available.
medication have got side effects.
Yes, therefore-
all the,
Yes.
if you read everything that is prescribed by the doctor here,
Yeah.
it's got a side effect.
Indeed, yeah.
So you have to be
Be very
aware
careful.
of it. You know, you
Even
have to be aware.
paracetamol side effects. Paracetamol causes the necrosis of the liver, hepatic failure in a high dose. So paracetamol is commonly available. So one has to be careful. One just doesn't take it at face value. You
And
have to
don't
see
buy
it.
things on the internet. Please don't buy internet
Yeah.
from internet because
Yeah.
the tablets you get from there,
You are not very good, yes. Yes.
you know,
It
causes
is
a lot more
risky.
harm than
And
it's
if you
doing.
ever do that, you have to inform your doctor about it,
Absolutely.
so that the doctor knows exactly how to liberate. Supposing you're taking prickly cactus, which is available on the internet, you have to tell your doctor about it, so you can reduce the dose of the diabetes, and he can calibrate it accordingly.
Paracetamol, we take it so easily.
I know.
Anybody else has got to make your experiences, you know. I mean, anybody's got an
Do breathing exercise.
Yeah.
It will solve many of your problems.
What is that?
Is going to, yeah.
Thank you very much for your lecture. It was very inspiring.
Thank you.
And even you, Murtaza, it was quite good, inspiring.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
We try our best. One thing that occurred with yours and his speech, you described that all the illness that we go through in this world is prescribed in the Quran. Unfortunately, when we learn how to read Quran, we were just like a puppet, you know. We just read and that's it. We don't understand a word of it. Now, it requires a lot of efforts to go through it to understand better. Fortunately or unfortunately, majority of our people, when we were born, we were very poor. Hence, we strive to be able to stand on our own 2 feet and be able to survive and work hard towards our further education to understand things better. So Quran was just like parrots, we just read it, end of story. It would be much more better if our community could pay more attention to better understanding of the Quran, because that would be a great help for every individual. But that requires a bit of efforts. And if we kind of get together cumulatively, support this subject of trying to understand Quran better, we might see some fruitful results for better understanding, rather than leaving the white people to tell us all the Quran, what it says in different, their own language, so that we can forget our honor, our imams, who taught us about the Quran's contents. And this is vitally important, that if everybody were to unite together and try and get better understanding of the Quran. Thank you very much for listening.
I'm on a listening mode today.
There is a verse in the Holy Quran. This is, we know, نمازي خفيلة ولا رطب ولا يابس إلا في كتاب مبين. Anything that is wet or dry, it is in the Quran. There is also another verse as well. Now, this is the biggest problem. The Quran tells us in many verses, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Will you not reflect on the Quran? وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ. If this Quran was, came or was written, whatever, by someone or someone other than Allah, وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. You would have seen many discrepancies, many problems, many mistakes. You say, because it's coming from Allah. And then there is another verse. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Will you not ponder over the Quran, or are your hearts locked? Now, we are being told on the minbar, ponder of the Quran. أَفَلَا يَعْقِلُونَ أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ إِلَّا عُلُوا الْأَلْبَابِ. So many verses. But we have not so far been told how to do tadabbur. Just say tadabbur, but how do you do tadabbur? So this is a branch of knowledge itself, which is available. We need to learn about this. So when you read the Quran, the first step to do is to understand the meaning of the Quran. And you start with Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, Surah Al-Fatiha. There is no point. The wajib thing that Allah has asked us to perform is namaz, isn't it? That is the number one in furu'. And yet, most of us, I'm sorry to say this, we do not know what bihawlillahi wa quwwatihi aqumu wa aqud means. We do not understand what Sami Allahu liman hamida. We do not understand the full meaning of Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So the basic is Surah Al-Fatiha. So all the surahs and the whole namaz, number one thing to do is to try and understand what we are saying. This is why people are complaining, I cannot concentrate. I do not understand. No. This is the first step. Try and understand. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. What is this? Praise be to Allah. Is alhamd praise only? No. Praise and thanks be to Allah, who is the Rabb of Alameen. Rabb is what? The Lord. Rabb has got so many meanings. He's a nurturer, He's a provider, He's a sustainer, He's a Lord. So we need to read. Unfortunately, the culture of reading in our community is very, very poor. This is the reason why we find that we are in the state of ghafla, heedlessness. Because Allah describes those people who do not have knowledge. And they say they are They are, they are like cattle, but they are even worse than cattle, because on the Yawm al-Qiyamah, on the Yawm al-Qiyamah, those people who have been admitted to hell, you know what Allah describes about that? Lahum qulubun akfaluha, walahum aynun. They have the eyes. ولا يبصرون بها ولهم آذان لا يسمعون بها ولهم قلوب لا يفقهون بها. They have hearts, but they do not comprehend, they don't understand. They have ears, but they do not listen. They have eyes, but they do not. But see, ulaika, these are the people who are like cattle. Bal hum adal, they are even worse than cattle. Oh, Shabbat. Sorry, I didn't know.
Sorry. I'm sorry about it. I've recovered my phone. So now, the other thing we can see that even there's some birds add greenery to their nests. European starlings choose yarrow when added to the nests of the tree swallows stops fewer fleas from the hatchlings. This yarrow is used in herbal tea. So these are all herbal medicines. And the one Ibn Sina was using with methi is fenugreek, which lowers the blood glucose. Lupin and wormseed he was using. Rat studies have shown that it shows changes in the secretion of insulin and glucose from the pancreas. And Karela I've mentioned before, and then there's another one here which I'll go on. So this article is written by Rowan Hilson. Rowan Hilson, who is one of the top professors in diabetes, and he's an editor of the Postgraduate Medical Journal of Diabetes, and he has written this article. So he's not a Muslim, but what he describes is exactly Islamic tenets, really. If you look at it, it's quite interesting, really. Now, then the other thing which happens is, he says, many other medicines have their origins in herbal remedies. Medicines are thoroughly tested for efficacy and safety and regulated. All carefully managed components are known and extracted. I think that is what has been missing in the past. Active components are mixed with other compounds. So like biguanides are removed from growth through to make metformin. So these are important things. So in Diabetes UK, as I said, does not recommend the use of herbal remedies and supplements as there's not enough evidence to use. I agree, but we agree, but our patients will continue to take herbal remedies without health care professional approval. So it's important for doctors to ask about it in a non-judgmental way. And that's what they put it. He's a past National Clinical Director of Diabetes, the one who has written this article. And I've used his article as the basis of my talk. So it is very important. Now, if you look at Quran as well, the Surah Al-Hud, which I mentioned, it says, مَا مِن دَابَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا وَيَعْلَمُ مُسْتَقَرَّهَا مُسْتَوْدَهَا كُلٌّ فِي كِتَابٍ مُبِينٍ. And there's no creature on the earth, but Allah is the provision for his welfare, and he knows his place of dwelling and the place of storage. All is in a clear register. And again it says, قُلْ أَغَيْرَ اللَّهُ اتَّخَذُوا وَلِيًّا فَاطِرِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَهُوَ يُطْعِمُ وَيُطْعَمُ قُلْ إِنِّي أُمِرْتُ إِنْ أَكُونَ أَوَّلَ مِنَ الْأَسْلَمِ وَلَا تَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. Surah Al-An'am, verse 14, it says, say it is other than Allah, Is it other than Allah that I should take and protect him, creator of the heavens and the earth, while it is he who feeds and is not fed? Say, O Muhammad, indeed I have been commanded be the first of you to submit to Allah as I was commanded, and do not ever be amongst the polytheists. So these are important points that we have to raise. Now this problem of, I think I've mentioned about Herbal P, which is the one which is injected into the lesion. The medicine is called Herbal P. I have written to my MP about it. We should license it here because it is very important, very important. 6,000 people in Guyana were cured from their ulcers in diabetic ulcers. At least 3,000 Ecuadorians have received a Cuban medicine called Herbal P to prevent foot amputation from ulcers derived from diabetes. With the application of the Cuban medicine, the average healing time for a patient with diabetic foot in Ecuador is 41 days. So within 41 days it gets cured. I mean, you can't ask for better than that. Then it speaks about what the meetings have had. Now they're having meeting with the University of Arizona Medical School, which I've spoken before. I think this is important. Now it might come out. But these embargoes and these things, trade restrictions, but US puts on the world, is contradicting what the medical profession's advises. They are going against it. They are just hurting the world. If there are so many people in states who have had amputations of the foot, 6,000 people, they say, in the last year, every 2-3 seconds, because of diabetic foot. And if they would have had this medicine, if they hadn't put the embargo in Cuba, they wouldn't have had the problem. So this is the stupidity of the West, really. Am I right? I think so. Because that's how it goes. I just see what else is there. Now, the University of Arizona Health Sciences researchers look to collaborate with Cuba on diabetic wound therapy. Now they're waking up. Diabetic foot ulcers are most costly to treat than 5 leading cancers. They're more expensive to treat than 5 leading cancers. In response, the University of Arizona Health Service physicians, scientists, Drs. Armstrong and Murphy, that's professors, began discussions with Cuban researchers to steward the FDA approval of the diabetic foot ulcer healing drug. So this developed by the Cuban Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology, Herbal P has resulted in rapid wound healing, 75% reduction in amputations, and a longer and better quality of life for diabetic patients treated with the drug. To date, the embargo on Cuba has left the UK without access to this life-saving drug. This is the stupidity of the West. They give all these restrictions for trade and they mess themselves. Looking for ways to bolster tissue healing diabetic foot ulcers, the university have gone to meet with the Cubans to help to work on this. Dr. Slepin is a professor of medicine and cardiology, and Dr. Armstrong is the surgeon from Arizona, University of Arizona, and they have gone to meet them. And I hope something comes out of it. And I hope our country should allow this medicine in here. Because we have had many cases here who have an amputation of the foot because of diabetes, and that shouldn't occur. But this is medicine. That's it, inshallah. Ahsan, Sadaqallahu al-Aliyyul Azim. Ahsan.
Can you tell us the cause of diabetes and the precautions you must take?
You see, diabetes can be genetic. You can have it in the genes. Obesity can cause diabetes as well. And the moment the epidemic of diabetes, which is rising, is due to obesity, too much fat in the body. fat has an effect against, it works against insulin insulin doesn't work so well, insulin resistance. And so these are the two ways. One is genetic and one is acquired. Precautions, avoid taking sugar, and diet and exercise can reverse diabetes. If you do, according to the diabetic prevention study which was done very early on, they said if you exercise and diet, you can reverse diabetes.
What about precautions for those people who are food precautions, for those people who are actually suffering from diabetes?
Then they should do exercise and they should dieting.
What about the food? What type of food? Is carbohydrates all right for people suffering from diabetes?
Well, I think one has to measure the carbohydrate content, so it is difficult to measure that. So it is better to take small amounts as far as possible.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
I said, Jazakallah, I said.
We'll have we had a slot for 10 minutes. I still got another 3 minutes to go if somebody wants to make any comments. But then we'll have a wazoo break. But before we do that, I'd like to repeat this particular announcement that I made early on, and that all future contribution for lunch has increased from £2.50 to £3.50. So in future, whenever we collect money, when there's no donor, obviously we don't pay, but our contribution for lunch has increased from £2.50 to £3.50. I'm sorry to say that, but because everything has gone up in price now, I can give you a breakdown of what we have to pay for. We have to pay for lunch, groceries have gone up, the cleaning has gone up, everything that we have to pay. Bread prices have gone up, tea has gone up, our breakfast has gone up, so everything has gone up. So that's why we have had to, I'm sure all of us have, we feel the pinch, but we have to do it, yeah? Oh yeah, but everybody here is not late, so they must have paid their contribution today. Today we only collected £2.50, but all future, Ahmad Bhai correctly mentioned it, that in future we will be collecting £3.50. And I'll make this announcement later on as well, when more people are here. But any latecomers, please pay for you. If there is a payment to be paid for lunch, please pay to Mohsin Bhai, because I know some people come in late and they want to quickly come for namaz. But please, if you join us for lunch, then you have to pay for your...
That's what Sultan said he's going to do it. He didn't say that.
Yeah.
No, you said he's going to do it.
Yeah, I will make another announcement, yeah. Yeah, I'll make another announcement. After namaz, I will make, yeah, that's a good point as well, because that's when people are here, yeah. Thanks very much, Muttaz. Okay, so we'll have a wazoo break now, and the namaz time today is 12:12. Oh yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Rahim. Thank you so much indeed for your contribution today. Asant. Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. Oh, we'll have a photo session there, yeah? Yeah?
We do have time, yeah.
Yeah, we have plenty of time, so we'll have a photo session there today, yeah?
Nakwambia mwingine kakuja kupanga kiti sasa.
Anaweka basi hapo moja.